Alright, so one of my biggest problems with Modern Warfare 3 has been their mistreatment of their biggest feature. This is the first Call of Duty to have carryover from the previous year of Call of Duty, and most of the weapons and things were not properly balanced for the new meta. Modern Warfare 2 guns had more recoil, more visual recoil, more smoke, more view kick, less aiming fire stability, they had different range values. They were designed for a game with a lightning fast time to kill and a slower movement system, so a lot of them just don't have a lot of place in Modern Warfare 3. They haven't been totally unusable, but they are not meta choices. They are not worthwhile choices. They are not meta contenders, especially with some of the weapons we've gotten post-launch in Modern Warfare 3. The Modern Warfare 2 guns wouldn't even begin to touch them. And they did some important changes to the Modern Warfare 3 meta, such as the static not being able to be a 4-shot kill in its maximum damage range without a headshot, and the STG-44 is no longer capable of a 3-shot kill. That's wonderful. But the rest of their weapon changes are like the Modern Warfare 2 M4 increasing its medium damage range and increasing its minimum damage range and increased head and neck damage from 1.1 to 1.15. Stuff like this. So the Chimera, the Honey Badger, has more damage range now, and the Tempest Razorback has more damage range now. The M13C has better sprint to fire, more recoil control, and better damage range. The Geist has better aim down sight time, and, you guessed it, better damage range. Going into battle rifles, all of the battle rifles they buffed are Modern Warfare 2 battle rifles. Lockman 7.62, Cronin Squall, F-TAC Recon, TAC-V, and SO-14 all have increased damage ranges and decreased recoil or increased firing aim stability. When it comes to SMGs, they did nerf the Super 46 and the Static HV, which is wonderful, but then they buffed the ISO 45, the ISO 9mm, and the PDSW 528, or the P90. These don't just have increased damage ranges, but they also do have increased damage, so some of these are just going to be killing in less shots. Same with the Fennec. The Fennec has a lower range now. They did decrease the range a little bit, but they increased the damage. Like, minimum damage went from 17 to 20, and the medium damage went from 18 to 23, and the maximum damage went from 25 to 27. This is actively changing the shots to kill. Also, the BAS-P and the Vaznev 9K, the meta SMG from Modern Warfare 2, these all got their damage increased to better work in a 150 health game. They finally nerfed the Jack Cataclysm conversion kit for the RPK, basically decreasing its damage and its damage range and just making it a little less melty. But they also buffed the 5.56 Icarus from Modern Warfare 2. Again, increasing its damage a little bit, increasing its damage range. Same with the Modern Warfare 2 marksman rifles. The EBR-14, the SPR-208, the Tempest Turret, the LMS, and the SAB-50 all have buffs to their damage range, upper torso damage, increased multipliers. These are buffed weapons. The only sniper they changed was the WA-2000, or Carrack 300 as it goes by in the game. We have an increased maximum damage, we have a massive change to its near-medium damage, 35% increase from 95 to 128, medium damage from 90 to 95, and minimum damage from 70 to 73, and decreased near-medium damage range a little bit from 30 to 25. So we decreased the range a little bit, which I think is weird, but every other damage model is increased in some way, whether by 4% or by 35%. And the last Modern Warfare 2 gun they buffed was the Basilisk Revolver, increasing the maximum damage range from 8.4 to 11.4, and increasing the near-medium damage range from 22.9 to 30.5. And I know what you're wondering, how can I get more detail in these patch notes? Well, head over to my description, I will have a link there to the patch notes so you can click on it, read it yourself, so I don't waste your time reading every single number value like that. But why now? Why at the end of MW3's life cycle? Well, I think it was studio interference, or perhaps publisher interference, but basically I think that they were trying to incentivize people to use new weapons and new things to make the game feel more new. So I think this is why we didn't get a lot of Modern Warfare 2 maps carried over, and why these guns stayed sort of irrelevant for as long as they did, just so that people would be more likely to use the frontrunner weapons that they've been marketing the game with, like the MCW, or the Holger 5.56, or the Striker. And I think they wanted to incentivize people to use the new things so that the game didn't feel like a giant DLC, and that's fair. The game isn't a giant DLC, it just has carryover from the previous game. So I'm actually very happy that they eventually did this, because what it tells me is that the team always wanted to do this. They always wanted that whole arsenal of weapons to be more viable, more usable, so that we have like one of the biggest open meta sandboxes in COD history in this game, and that was clearly their goal, and they were told throughout the year to probably not prioritize it as much. There were certain weapons that felt like they prioritized changes on, like the M4, the Kastov, the Lockman, and that felt like they were trying to, make sure that this game, this Modern Warfare game, had certain usable staples like the M4, the AK, and the MP5. Honestly though, this could have been done earlier if every Modern Warfare 2 gun would have had its firing aim stability decreased and its damage raised up so it has the same shots to kill relative to the meta of the game. Basically, if it was a 3-shot kill in MW2, make it a 5-shot kill in MW3, just to get that longer TTK that they were aiming for. But I don't know, maybe they had a lot of calculations to do and they didn't want to break the game, and maybe that's another reason they were told to de-incentivize it. Don't buff an entire arsenal of weapons and risk throwing the game's balance on its head. It's already difficult to balance a normal COD's worth of guns, let alone 2 COD's worth of guns. So knowing them, that's probably why they had to hold off. One, there's just the development cost and development time, and then there's also just the chance of making the game considerably worse for everybody involved. Either way, I'm excited to live stream these weapon changes, so hit the bell icon to get notified when I go live. My next live stream will be me playing with the Modern Warfare 2 weapons that got buffed and seeing if they're viable in MW3's very fast meta. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. This one's a short little one. I'm catching a cold. I have to go to work. It's just a ball of fun over here. Anyway, see you when I see you guys. Goodbye.